Before we begin the sketch, I'd like to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. So a big thank you to Hixia, Sparky, Beer Nuts, Trep, Eski, and Anathiel. Thank you so much.
I love paladins. He's actually trying to kill me. Look at this fucking heat damage!
Yeah, I know,
Look at this shit!
I know, it's nuts. I know, it's nuts.
And even BM tanked him like a fucking idiot.
Nice.
I have crippling depression.
What's up gamers, it's TreesapJake here with yet another video, and today's video is going to be some 2v2 commentary against some players that are boosting, that are very high rated players. So I have high rated healers that I help boosting some other players, some lower rated players, and they hate it when they queue into some 2-4 XP guys and it ruins their day. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to basically talk through what I'm doing against players that essentially have 2-4 plus XP but are playing down at around 2k ACR. So this hopefully will be helpful for you when you inevitably queue into these boosters, as they're all over the place now. Hopefully this is useful, but let's get started. Let's crack in. So starting off in this first game, it is obviously I'm playing with my Resto Druid friend, my Resto Druid healer, and we're queuing into the classic Resto Shaman Arms Warrior. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, I'm going to make sure I press my Flame Shock, and then I'm going to try and purge the Earth Shield of him, and I'm trying to purge off his Riptide so that the healing is lower. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to just see if he kicks, so I double check where he kicks. He doesn't kick Lava Burst at all, so this is good. So I full lasso him. He probably shouldn't kick Lava Burst, but it's always good to check because you want to know where the people are kicking. That's the first thing I do against melee. So again, want to refresh Flame Shock. We've got some damage going out. I've Flesh Crafted first in the room, by the way, just so I can get the shield now. He stuns me. I'm going to sit this. I've got my Element Equilibrium up and everything. My Druid uses Iron Bark on me, so I don't need to press my wall. I'm just chilling here. We're taking him down a lot. He's hitting into thorns. He presses parry. This is very, very good. I want to kill the Sky Fury now. I want to make sure I Flame Shock the healer as well. I'm trying to purge some stuff, but I don't really have much time. I'm just going to focus on the Resto Shaman whilst I'm here. He fakes my kick, which is annoying, but here we go. There's the cooldowns from the warrior now. I'm gonna press Tremor, but he uses his trinket anyway, so we kind of overlap that one. I'm just doing some damage now into this warrior. This warrior is in offense stance, so he's taking a lot of damage here, so I'm maximizing it. He pushes back in D stance. I knock him away to get the charge out of the way. I'm now gonna lasso. He's then gonna press trinket here. My druid is kind of 1v1ing this Resto Shaman at the minute, and we're just chilling. We're kind of keeping this guy down. We get the full cyclone here, so I trinket this offensively just to say in the fight this is good. This is a good time to trinket to keep offensive, so I get the nice damage. We get the spell reflect, and we're going to get rally soon. There's the rally, so it's up for 9 seconds. I'm going to try and do damage. We cyclone him on that, which is really, really good. I get the hex now near the end of this, just before the cast comes out, so they get no heals now. I could have waited a little bit, but it was better to get this out whilst we knew that the warrior can stop me. Rally's going to fade in a second. I do another holding this lava burst. We get a big bite, and then lava burst finish, and the game is over. Kind of very clean. And what I like about this game is that we do everything quite right. We mess up a few things there. We do mess up a few things like trinketing stuff that didn't need to be trinketed, tremor, whatever. But at the end of the day, the pressure is good. The pressure is good on the warrior. We're really controlling the shaman. I'm purging a lot of the riptides off, and then I'm just doing damage. And I'm saving trinket for when I need it. And I think this is the thing. Saving your trinket for when the warrior is low and has no cooldowns is a really good idea. And then with a Resto Druid, you can swap clones over, and it's super, super easy. Kind of tough into Resto Shaman with the kicks and grounding, but we kind of baited most of those out during that 1v1 previously. But now I'm going to play the full clip, and you can hear our communication.
Let's go.
Purge this. Do that. Purge this. I go for the lasso now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll walk off you. Iron back.
Save my wall.
Big heal.
Give me Sky Fury. That's just spam purging me.
Oh, I'm so bad. Holy shit.
I tremor.
Yeah, I trained it because I wanted to stop his. Nice.
Lasso now. Trinketed. I'm gonna trinket this one to stay offensive.
Clone him as well. He needs to trinket. He needs to link this. Can he X maybe?
Hex, full hex.
Nice. Red is gonna fade. I root him out of think. Bite.
That's insane. Well played. Very well played. They got completely and totally outplayed.
Mr. Dimitri, Gladiator.
Gladiator Dimitri.
I love how you can't take anyone with Gladiator or Mount seriously if you queue below 2400 MMR. Just such a joke. Became such a meme title.
Okay guys, in this next game we're queuing into another warrior. It's a warrior Hpala, but this time it is a Necrolord Hpala. A Necrolord Hpala that does a stupid amounts of damage. It's like double DPS but with a lot of healing. They are really scary. There's a few big mistakes that I make in this game and I'll point them out when I see them as they come through, but there's also some good bits in here as well that I think are quite good and something you need to focus on, and also, you know, just synergy with your teammate as well, which helps. But let's get into this. Okay, starting off, we're pushing in. I want to make sure I got Flame Shock up. I Flesh Crafted back in the room. I'm now going to use my Primordial Wave to get the second up. I'm going to try and do some damage here. They're pressing wings. This is big damage from them. I didn't realize that the Paladin was Necrolord at this point. I thought it was Kyrian still. I lasso here on the Hodge. But this is where they stun me, and then the damage comes out and they go swap onto my Druid here. Now I need to stop this. I need to mitigate this. So I'm going to try and off-heal him. I'm now going to try and hex one of them. So I hexed the Warrior because there was I hexed the Paladin because the Warrior Blade Storms. That was it. And I'm just focusing here on doing this. Then we get the bubble. We've got everything. They've used all of their cooldowns here. This is really good. They're trying to get the kill on the Druid here. They press sack and small sack as well, so you can tell because the damage that comes out there starts to go down even though he's got sack on, so it's important just to recognize. Don't just leave him alone if they're playing small sack, because a lot of these guys will try and, you know, fake you with it. So my goal here is to try and do this. I come to the edge so my Druid can jump up. This really helps them, so they get the fear, they jump fear. I trinket and I'm going for the tremor. Good to use my trinket here and not my Druid's trinket, because then he can trinket that Hodge, which is really good. So then we've got Commanding Shout, we've got Parry. The aim here is for me to basically Frost Shock off the Shield Reflect, and we're going to swap the Clone here so I can do some damage onto this Paladin. We get the Bash as well, so I'm just trying to do damage. I don't really have much, which is a bit of a problem, so I'm just trying to Lava Burst and trying to get some damage out. I press the Healing Stream Totem. I Purge Kick this guy, really important. He goes instant Fleshcraft, so he knew that was coming because you can hear the Purge sound going. But yeah, we're trying to get away now. They swap onto me. There's nothing I can really do about any of this. I'm putting the Earthbind down to keep them slowed. I try and knock. Now this is one of the mistakes. I'm just going to pause that there. I did not see, and this is where I start to tilt as a player. I'm starting to become a little bit worse, I think, at this point, is when I forget that there is a Vortex there, and I go for the knock. He gets knocked, and that could have been game-winning strat for us, but he's brought back in. Terrible. So just be aware of your surroundings, because I wasn't at this point. Okay, continuing onwards, I'm just doing some damage here. I try and Earth Shock. I'm just trying to get everything. I've got Kick coming up soon. Hodge is in 30. They're using everything here to try and keep him out. Fleshcraft is still up, so there's not much I can really do about this. My Fleshcraft comes up, but I don't really need it at this point. I don't have much to stop here. I get kicked, so we get the kick first. We get the stunned. Druid comes in. Druid gets the slow. This is where they're going to start to swap him, just because anytime a Druid comes in, you want to swap him really hard. I'm going to try and get a Hex out on the healer here. I get the full Hex. So then I'm going to try and apply some pressure to this warrior. I lasso him instead, because usually, you know, it's better just to kind of keep the lockdown here so he can't stop my Druid. We're going to DR stun off. I'm trying to do some damage, trying to get some stuff out. I'm trying to get Stormkeeper, but I get stunned, so they get the Sky Fury and then into the Hodge. This is kind of scary. This is trouble. I already used my grounding because I wasn't paying attention to everything. I'm just trying to off-heal now. Off-heal during this big go. I'm get the Stormkeeper out. They get the Spell Reflection. It's gone. Spell Reflection is still on the Hpala though, so you got to be careful of that. I'm trying to do some damage. I'm trying to keep up. The thing you don't want to do is fall behind at this point. So you get the Blaze Storm. He's out into offense stance. I get the full Hex on the healer. This is where we could win. If we had a sort of like a global earlier than this, I could have killed this guy. Big Earth Shock, 10k, and then if he just had been if I had been a little bit closer, I could have just instantly lassoed him and he would be 100% dead. But unfortunately that is just not the case. So we keep playing. I put down the slow here. I actually DR lasso into this guy, so probably a good thing I didn't press it because it was absolutely not needed. Yeah, super triple DR lasso, so I mess up this again there. We swap the Cyclone. He trinkets immediately. Nothing I can do about the Sphere, though. I try and knock here, even though they're totally on the DR from the Vortex. So, again, I recognize that I do a big problem here, just sort of recognizing your DRs, and I still do it sometimes. I'm still getting used to it because it doesn't show up on the right on my tracker here. So I need to remember that in my head. So I try and get the Hex. I'm going to Hex the Warrior here just to keep the damage out on the Hodge. So it's really, really good to Hex some of their damage. Instead of Hexing on your goes, Hex on their goes. I think that's super important. So yeah, they haven't done anything here. It's just the Paladin. Look at all the Paladin's damage. It's nuts. So I'm just trying to keep my guy alive. So he gets the Reflect on, but I'm doing a little bit more damage. Again, another sack, a small sack. So I'm going to try and lasso this guy here. So I lasso the healer because the healer does a lot of damage. And I'm going to Purge Kick him so he can't really cast anything. I come up to the edge so my Druid can jump up. Hopefully, yeah, so he gets up there. This is where we go. So the big damage comes out. I've got Stormkeeper up. If I hadn't killed this guy here, it would 100% be over. But yeah, Earthshock, Paladin's too focused on trying to get the kill. And of course, we survive, but the damage is kind of nuts from both of them, and we end up on that win. And guys, I think, you know, one of the big things here that's kind of important is to kind of recognize the fact that even in these sort of situations, when they're doing a ridiculous amount of damage, don't try and focus on counter pressure. Recognize when you need to heal, recognize when you need to Hex defensively. I think defensive Hex are big because no one can dispel them unless you're queuing into a Resto Shaman. So Hex defensively, and know when to go for damage, and recognize when things are coming. So for example, the mistakes that I made in that game is not recognizing where Vortex DRs so it has diminishing returns on Thunderstorm, so I didn't recognize that. I pressed grounding to try and get Hodge. That was on cooldown because it's a minute cooldown, and I'm totally used to it being a shorter cooldown than that because of the talents that they take, but I don't think that guy was taking it. So, and that's the sort of situation. Just recognize those and you'll be good. So now I'm going to play it with the communication so you can have a listen.
Right.
That was a bad knock by me. Alright, that's it now.
Hodge me.
Incoming you, KKK. Feeding. Hexing Warrior. No mind. Hexing the Bubble Hodge. Off feeding you. Off feeding. Again.
Anti-sect.
Sky Fury's up.
Nice.
It's weak sack.
Is he chasing? Jump to me, come to edge. Nice.
Feared. I trinket.
Actually feared that.
Lasso now.
Trinket is, I'm fine. Nice. Fulcrum healer, let's go. Clone Warrior, go healer. Vortex them now, no knock.
Kick
Oh
him.
shit, nice, nice. Flash crafted.
That's fine, that's fine. Knocked him off. Oh!
Stun him on this. Popped it. Clone Warrior. No, stun healer.
Ground the Hodge, maybe?
Yeah.
Hexing now. Hexing the
Healer here, Hex healer. Yeah.
I lasso in a second. I lasso now.
Go for it. I can full clone them. Let's go. I'll DR stun him. Clone Warrior. Watched it. Full stun healer.
Hexing.
Oh, the intervene was still up there. Oh, how long on lasso?
3.
Okay.
Lasso now. Oh, fuck.
Vortex them here.
Lasso now. Oh, wow.
Go for it.
No. Totally
Wait, what?
Totally fucked up. He was on Super DL.
Okay. Clone Warrior then. No biggie. Clone is trinket.
I knock. No, I'm terrible. Ground the Hodge, maybe. Hexing Warrior.
Nice.
Hitting you.
You have lasso soon?
5 seconds.
Right.
I lasso the. No, I don't. Lasso healer. Yeah, lasso healer. Kicked him.
Come to the edge.
Maybe.
Oh,
He's dead.
got him.
Alright guys, that's the end of it. That's the end of this video. I hope that was useful to you. I love making these commentary videos. I hope this 2v2 video was helpful as well, just because you go into warriors a lot. Warriors are totally, abundant in the ladder, and I think as an elemental shaman, melee is tough, but as long as you learn a few things, you know when to fake, you know when to hex, you know when to do it defensively, you can beat any of these guys, and all of these guys have high experience, so you can definitely beat them with enough practice and enough gear. You should be able to have no trouble at all. So if you like this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed. I know that, I think we get about 16% of people subscribe, watch the videos, and a lot more don't. So if you haven't subscribed, please do press it. It really, really helps the channel, really helps us grow, and lets me get more content out to you. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you join us on the Discord. And if you're feeling super, super generous, do support me on Patreon. I really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.